Hello, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Pajama Grandma. If you haven't met me yet, I go by Pajama Grandma. And if you haven't, put in the comments below pound pajama. And then I know it's the first time that you've seen me and my new adventure. This is my little place to talk about my transition from the offline traditional corporate America originally and brick and mortar businesses to the online business world. It's just been about a year that I decided I was going to go all in with online endeavors and doing my business as I'd always been in a corporate environment or a very, very traditional brick and mortar businesses. I mean, we're talking manufacturing here. That's about as traditional as it gets. And retail and restaurants and bars and direct to the customer sales, things like that. And I'm sold my business and I'm moving into the online world because I wanted more freedom. I wanted to be able to work in my pajamas. I'd always heard that fantasy, and for the last year and a half now, I've been able to do that. But the transition has been anything but smooth. I mean, it's like starting any business. We think that it's going to go one way and it's just going to skyrocket because of course, our idea is the best idea in the whole wide world, you know, and everybody's just going to flock to it. And sometimes that happens, but it's almost never. It is so rare that everything goes perfectly and everything goes smoothly. And part of the frustrating part, I think for most people, and for me too, I fall prey to that just like any other human being, is comparing ourselves to others, forgetting that we're never hearing the whole story. We're never knowing the whole journey unless we're intimately involved with someone who's gone through a transition like that. We only ever hear bits and pieces of it. Some of my favorite mentors, I remember getting surprised. It's kind of like working with your parents and realizing that when you're in business with your parents, they're human beings too. I don't know about you, but I grew up always believing that my parents were larger than life. Because as kids, we think that our parents are larger than life. We depend on them for everything. And I just remember I worked with my dad when I was going to college, and I worked with my dad in a liquor business, a wholesale retail liquor business. And I remember seeing how stressed out and frustrated he was about something. And I never saw that side of him as a dad when we were living at home. And I remember one day watching him trying to do something on the computer. And this was a long, long time ago. We're talking, 45 plus years ago. And thinking to myself, oh my gosh, he's human. He's human too. Because I always thought he was Superman, I guess. And it was just such an aha moment for me, realizing that we're all just human. We're all doing the best we can with what we know in the given moment, at the given time. And I don't know how much time and energy we spend beating ourselves up over things that we've done or said in the past that we wish would have been different. But the truth is, we can never do anything different than exactly how we did it. And that, I guess that gives me solace, but it also doesn't. I don't know. Sometimes it makes me feel better. Sometimes it doesn't. But realizing that we're all human and we're all doing the best we can, I think it makes us kinder to other people and hopefully kinder to ourselves. Because let's be honest, most people are way harder on themselves than they ever are on other people. At least I know that's how I am. You know, if that person in my head sometimes were someone outside of me, they would have been long gone because they're so mean. I mean, our self-talk can be so negative and so ridiculous and so off the wall lies that sometimes we need to really rein that in and realize that the little voice in our head is not necessarily what we should be listening to. Now, the one in our gut, the one in our heart, that little voice we should always be listening to. So today, it is a new day. You can tell by my curlers, right? Those that are just hearing my voice have no idea that I have curlers in my hair. So why am I telling them? It's another thing I learned from my dad. He's like, if you do something stupid, shut up about it. Don't ever tell anybody. And I am just the opposite. When I do something stupid, I tell everybody because I want them to learn from the dumb mistake I made so that they don't do it too and look stupid. Now, fortunately, I do a lot of stupid things, or I do a lot of things incorrectly that I have to figure out. But I think I don't look at them as stupid. I look at them as just another attempt at achieving something and taking action toward what I'm trying to achieve and finding something that didn't work. And just because it didn't work doesn't mean it was stupid. It just didn't work. Or the information that I had wasn't enough to figure out and do what it is that I'm trying to do. And that's never stupid. That's always, I like to look at it as continuous improvement. I am a work in progress and continually improving, because that's how our lives are. Our lives are hopefully a work in process, one in which we're thrilled with the journey, not just enjoying the journey, but actually embracing the journey of our life. Whatever it leads, whatever it shows us, it's showing us for a reason. We don't always understand the reason at the time, but there's always a reason, and there's always a lot of different ways of looking at any situation that happens to us in our lives. So today I am working with an amazing woman who lives in Europe and has been blowing up my phone since 2:57 a.m. And I'm normally up about 4:30, but that was even beeping and working me up. So I can't wait to get my magnifying glass out and read all the messages she sent me, because it looked like a book. But I want to make my videos quick, because if I don't make my videos first thing in the morning, things like that get in the way, and I get sidetracked helping people to do what it is that they're trying to do, and then I don't get my content created. I don't get the things that I need to accomplish to move me forward in my online businesses done. Thus, I always create my content first thing in the morning. Unless I'm doing a special project or a workshop, then I might actually set up a decent stage, or not a stage, but a decent setup with my whiteboard or with my big computers, and actually plan it out and do a PowerPoint or something, or a whiteboard demo. I love whiteboard demos. I like being able to talk and write down and show, and my drawing's pretty bad, but I like drawing pictures so that people can remember things, because I know I learn in pictures, and I think a lot of people too. If you're a visual person, pictures and things help you to retain things that you learn. If you're an auditory person, things that you hear, words are very important to you. And if you're kinesthetic, like me, I'm all of the above. I like hugs. Hugs are awesome. Another great thing I learned from my dad, I must be thinking about my dad today. I miss him. I miss him a lot. So, working on that today. I'm going to do my next lesson in Expert Secrets, which I see my book. It's almost within arm's reach. Mostly, I am nursing a something. I don't know what's going on. Lemon water. Excuse me. I'm starting out with nice warm lemon water today, because I woke up with just a frog in my throat. And how do you talk and do videos and share your voice with a frog in your throat? Pretty darn hard. So you go clear your throat, which is totally annoying to people, or whatever you have to do. But I just talk anyway. So I kind of wanted to mention for a couple of minutes about priorities. I've been thinking a lot about the one thing. I'm working with a gentleman who actually coaches on the one thing. I'm coaching a coach who coaches people on the one thing. And the one thing is fascinating to me. But it's all about identifying your main purpose, your main reason, or the main thing that you want to accomplish in your life on your journey here on the planet. Mine, I've decided, finally settled in on, is chronic pain. Helping people to kill their chronic pain and take back their life. Because, something I can really relate to. How do you have chronic illnesses and chronic pain but still function in your life? Because the alternative is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to have to lay in bed and miss out on every experience of your life. And there's, 1.5 billion people doing that. It's not acceptable. It's not okay, because the vast majority of those 1.5 billion people do not have to be suffering to the extent that they are. They have been lied to and conned and brainwashed into believing that they have to, but they absolutely positively do not. And I am living, breathing proof of that. And all the people I've worked with are living, breathing proof of that. I'm getting off on a tangent. So the one thing, what is your one thing? And as I've been thinking about that, today my one thing is to get the frog out of my throat and to get perfectly healthy. And that is something that I neglected for a lot of years and a long time, was my health. And as much as we run around and we chase after other things like helping people with chronic pain or loving our family, because to me, my family is really the driving force behind the why I want to help people with chronic pain, because I want to make a living to support my family and those I love and care about. And I want to do it in a way that serves other people and makes the world a better place. That's my big one thing, I guess. And that's my one thing and my why I want to do it. Because I want to get love and give love by supporting and serving other people. But the truth of everything is, and I had to come to terms with this, if we don't have our health, we have nothing. Zero. Nothing. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, especially as entrepreneurs and business people, and type A workaholic people, which I'm definitely inherited that one from my dad, our health, we put it to the back burner, and we ignore it and we neglect it, and we put ourselves last. Especially moms, I find, do this because we have so many things that we need to juggle. And the more we neglect our health, the more we put it to the back burner, the more at risk we are of having nothing and creating nothing in this life. I actually neglected my health to the point that I had a sudden cardiac arrest. And the universe was giving me messages all along the way that I wasn't taking care of my health, and I wasn't making that a really high priority in my life, and I wasn't loving myself and putting myself first. And at the 50-year point, the universe said, okay, you're going to have this massive wake-up call, and it's going to go one way or the other. You are going to either die from it and not figure it out, or you are going to make massive changes. Understand that without your health, you have nothing, and you're going to change your behavior. And so I had that wake-up call. But so many people I see every single day are not making that choice. They're not loving themselves, and they're not understanding at a core level that if you don't have any health, if you don't have any energy, if you're not loving yourself, you have nothing to give to other people. Nothing. So, is it selfish to take care of yourself? That's what I believed for a lot of years. For a lot of decades, I believed that I had to put everyone else first before me. And that's what I did. And that ended up really, really bad for me, and ended up causing a lot of drama and a lot of heartache to other people that I would never have wanted to. And that's why I guess I'm also very adamant about realizing that we have to put our health number one. Obviously, I've not been listening to my own advice lately, and the universe is sending me messages that I better put my health back on track in terms of eating right, taking care of myself, following the routines and schedules and the things I know work for me to give me more energy, more health, and vitality. And that is starting my day off with lemon water. And the reason I'm having struggles with my throat, for example, it's been about 3 days now, but today was the worst when I woke up, is because I'm not listening. I'm not paying attention. What happens is we will get stronger and stronger messages until we pay attention. It works that way with everything in our lives. I don't know if you've noticed. If you've ever had the opportunity to have a repeated lesson show up in your life, it's for a reason. It's because we didn't learn it the first time. I've got some really, really incredible examples in my life of that, and the severity of how things will increase until you listen. My sudden cardiac arrest was the culmination in that, with respect to me not following my gut, following my instinct, and being on the right path for my life. And, I guess dead is as big an example as you can get if you're going to change this life experience or not. And people are having near-death experiences all the time. And many of them use that as a wake-up call and change and actually get the message that the world and the universe or whatever is trying to teach us. And many of them don't. And those that don't aren't with us anymore. Those that don't struggle and struggle and struggle. So, health today is moving up to the back burner, top of the pile. And I've got routines and systems in place to ensure that my health is awesome. I've just gotten a little lax with them as I've been focusing on doing this online business work and coaching other people. Well, I can't coach other people if I have no voice. I can't help other people if I'm not taking care of myself. So lesson one today, number one priority to me today is purposefully following the systems and the procedures and the protocols I have in place for my life because they work. So that is my side note today. Health, what's your one thing? What are you doing today to move toward what it is that you want? Are you enjoying the journey? If you're not enjoying the journey, if you're not having fun with something and with your life, oh my God, change it. Guess what? You're not a rock. You don't need somebody else to pick you up and throw you and change you to change your environment, change your location, change your thinking. All of us, no matter who we are, no matter where we are, no matter what's going on in our life, we have the power to change anything just by changing our thinking. So change your thinking today. Go out, make it an awesome day. I'm going to finish my lemon water and clear up my throat. And I will see you tomorrow with another update on what she's up to now. What the heck is Pajama Grandma getting into now? Bye.